Hi there. I have some tips and tricks for you for the advanced pathophysiology class. So you've done the course tour video already. You're going to get started in modules. And you can open and close these modules. I recommend just close the thing, keep module 1 open. You can close module 2. Oh, you can't even see module 2 yet. I haven't published it. In module 1, I left this weekly template up. It was blank, but I wanted you to see something. I try really hard to be very consistent in the way I show you the information. So let me explain the way it's laid out. Every week, there's going to be a PowerPoint that will have information in it, images from the textbook, images that I found from other sources, text, material that I need you to know. You don't have to print it out, but it's available there for you if you want to use it. Then the items to complete, there will be multiple videos for each week. I try to keep them to 20 to 30 minutes or shorter. Sometimes they go long, I have to admit. I have one as long as I think 50 some minutes. You can always pause it, you can come back to it, you can play it faster, but there'll be multiple videos there, and the videos follow the PowerPoint. Then there's an indication of which chapter this is from. It's also in the PowerPoint. And you can use the concept overview video and the PowerPoint to guide your readings. What I mean by that is there's no way we can cover every single page from that textbook. However, in the PowerPoint, I'll indicate the pages that I'm working on, and it's it's highlighted in yellow. Those are the pages that I want you to go and read, and make sure that you don't miss anything that's on those. Okay. Here's a thing I never know quite where to put it. There's a practice quiz. So there's a quiz in Canvas. They're generally about 10 questions long. This one's not going to count for a grade, but let me assure you, its function is to help you figure out if you're ready to take the real quiz. So if you take the practice quiz and you blow it, don't jump into the real quiz. That means you have some more prep to do. Yeah, so the practice quizzes, they'll show up in the grade book just so I can see how people are doing on them, but they won't count for your overall grade. And then in additional resources, there will be multiple recordings of other people that I have found around, and that'll indicate how many minutes they each are. And they're usually short and sweet and interesting. And then finally, when you are done with the rest of the stuff, that's when you do your assessment of learning. That's when you open the real quiz. Please do not jump directly to the real quiz. All right, so once you've done that work and you're ready to do the quiz, there are some tips about this. Let's go into the first week. This will be published shortly. This is on molecular biology, genetics, and genetic diseases. There's a PowerPoint right there available for you. The recording is going to be in 3 parts. I've recorded the first one already. I've got a couple more to do, and I'll be posting the links here. When you go to those, it's going to take you to YouTube. You'll open up something like this. There may be a commercial of some kind. I didn't put it in there, but that's how YouTube works. If it runs a commercial, just skip it after 5 seconds. What I want to show you here is that you can speed things up. Under settings, you can do the playback speed. You can play it normal, or what I would recommend is play it at least 1.5 times speed, or even 2 times speed. And then when you get to something that's really a lot of terminology, it's really dense and hard to understand, then you can slow it down. You could even slow me down to, 3/4 speed or half speed. I sound like I'm drunk when you do that, but you can do it for, things you really need to reason through. Okay, but you can adjust the playback speed. Let's go back to here. It's indicating the chapter, and then here's that practice quiz that I told you about. It'll be 10 questions. Additional resources. I try to be honest in my assessment of these things. So there's the link here, basic genetics. It tells you what this does. It just the difference between mitosis and meiosis. This one's dull, but it's accurate. So if you don't mind dull, then you can watch 9 minutes of dull explanation of these terms. Then another one, again, kind of dull, but also accurate, another 9 minutes. This one, this guy, you're going to see him a lot because I use him a lot. He's good and he's fun. The videos are more fast paced. It's a little bit frenetic, in fact. 10.5 minutes, and it's right around 10 minutes. His stuff is. Then we get to the quiz. This is a really important point I want you to know. This is going to count for points. And you will have 2 attempts at this quiz. I will keep the better of the 2 scores, the highest score. That's the one that's going to count. But here's the trick. You will not see the answers before the due date. So you take the quiz, you will see a score, but you won't know which questions you got right and which questions you got wrong. And if you say, well, how am I supposed to learn? That means if you don't know which questions you might have missed, that means you didn't study enough before you took the quiz. Seriously. So while you're taking the quiz, I expect you to feel fairly confident about the answers that you're selecting. And then the ones that you're not confident about, write a note to yourself about what that topic was so that you can go back into the PowerPoint, you can go back into the recorded lecture and review that section so that you can learn that better, so that when you do your second attempt at the quiz, you do better on those questions. That's the goal. I would love it if all of you could score 100% on the quizzes every time. It's okay if it's not 100%, but yet you do get 2 attempts at each of these quizzes. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that. All right, so one more point. Here in modules, you can get to some discussion boards. Every module, I'm going to have a general question and answer board. You can reach it this way, or you can reach it through this menu over on the left. What this is for is any kind of question that you have about this class, you can post it here. So you just hit reply, post a question. I generally check this board every day. If somebody sees a question before I get to it, please, and you know the answer, go ahead and answer the question. Like, where do I find whatever? How many times do I get to, can I take the quizzes? Go ahead and help your buddies out. But I generally will get to this every day. If not, send me an email. Beginning of the semester, sometimes a little bit slow in the response, but I try to be on top of it. So please feel free to use this general Q&A board. Back to the discussions. Some of you have already posted your optional introductions. Thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't already, please do that. I'd love to hear some more about you. You don't have to comment on each other's stuff. I know what a pain that is. The student who took online classes, I get it. But it is helpful to me to learn a little bit about you. And then we'll talk about the Patho blog later in the semester. That's all I have for you for tips and tricks, and I will talk with you soon.